Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the haslab Victory Saber gift set. So this is already going to be a bit of a struggle trying to get them to fit on camera, but I aim to do the best review I can possible. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. You can see I've already got some of the other figures of the original versions of these lined up at the side, so we can do a full comparison of both the combined mode, not just the combined mode, but of the individual bots that they were as well, so we can have a real good look at them, see how they've improved on the quality. I've also got some of the original boxes to hand as well, because this has got the number with the Cybertron number there on the inside, and of course on the inside of that sleeve we've got that as well. So there is going to be quite a bit to get through with this particular video, and of course we can see how the Brain of Courage has changed from old to new as well. And yeah, exactly that. So obviously very excited to see this figure in hand. I backed it instantly. You can probably tell, and friends of the channel will know, that I'm a huge fan of the Japanese continuity of Transformers, and that of course is exactly what this is. So let's carefully take this off. Oh, right, there we go. Apologies for the glare. This, I believe, is just a poster. Now, again, with regards to all my reviews, I do them literally like this. I've looked at pictures, obviously, but I've not seen anybody else's review. So this is, again, my first impressions. There, of course, is Deathsaurus or Desirus. There, of course, is the brilliant Victory artwork. And there, of course, is Holly and Fire, who are, of course, that's a lovely little poster. We can see we've got the instructions there. That, I believe, is the weapons pack. And then this is going to make, with the stand, this is going to make things much easier, because what I can do now is very carefully turn them on the side like that, and hopefully now, yeah, I can get this all to fit on screen. What I'm going to do just there, though, is I'm going to take this box and I'm going to unwrap it just very quickly, because it should all come apart quite neatly. Just there we can have a look at them inside there, and this is the reverse of the box. So this is beautiful as well. Look, so we've got, there is Victory Saber, there is a picture of the actual product. See there, we've got C328, which was indeed the reference number. That is the original Victory artwork that was on the back of all of the boxes, anything Victory related in the 1989 toy line. There, of course, is Thesaurus' ship. And then if I can carefully, because again, this is huge, it's so good to have such a huge, and this feels like a premium product, let's be honest. There is the base mode that he transforms into. There is how the Brain of Courage is going to work. There's the Micromasters, there's Victory Saber himself, Star Saber, Victory Leo, and of course the combined jet mode that you don't see too much of either. But again, just to show you how much of a homage that is, this is the original Star Saber box. So this is the version 1, so this is the horizontal one, not the vertical one. There is the C number. We've got all the same sort of imagery, and as I just pointed out there, there is the original Victory Saber artwork. Right, again, I'm going to try and do this as best I can all in one take as well, just so it sort of flows. Sometimes I'm gonna have to stop to take some things out of the boxes, obviously, but let's just carefully slide this guy out. And then, yeah, it's in a plastic case, it's all covered up. We've got the beautiful gold reflecting. Looks really good, he really does. And I'm going to do the same with Victory Leo. Then I am going to have to just sort of cut the video just so I can get these guys out. Yeah, there's Victory Leo. Beautiful paintwork on it. Lovely looking detail. There's all the weapons. So yes, what I am going to do now then is just pause very briefly, set them free from their plastic prisons, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do some first impressions before looking at some of them in their other modes. Okay, so I've set him free from his packaging, and we're going to do some first impressions, and we're going to do some detailed comparisons. I've had loads of requests of certain things that people want me to do, so hopefully I can get them all covered in this video for you. So first and foremost, he does look very impressive. He is incredibly cartoon accurate, and that is indeed exactly what they were going for. For those of you who don't have the original, I'm going to do some comparisons funnily enough, between the original and between the masterpiece, because it's a great amalgamation of them both, if I'm being really honest. The only thing, as I say, that surprised me is the height of this, but what they've managed to do is exactly that. They managed to condense everything down really well. So articulation wise for the head, you can still turn this around very slightly, even though this comes completely off, which you can see. The antenna will move freely as well. The detail on this is just spectacular. You've got obviously the reflective gold there. The shoulders will rotate all the way around, and you can hear the quality straight away because it's like ratchets. It will swivel underneath on the bicep. You've got the flexion there. You've got the full twist in the wrist. Yes, there's a little bit of a gap there, which perhaps, I don't know, maybe it could have been filled, I'm not too sure, but it doesn't look as bad as what I thought it might have been. We do have the full waist swivel. These are like hip skirts, so you can see that these fold. Listen to these ratchets. They're nice and tight ratchets out to the side, out to the front. You've got a knee flexion. It'll bend there at the knee as well, you can see. There is toes tilting. These will move around at the back as well a little bit, just to give you a little bit more range of motion. It is incredibly posable. The detail on it is fantastic. The one thing I think somebody's asked actually in a comment about the lack of landing gear. What that is referring to is on the original here. Now the problem you've also got is with the original is much bigger, but the landing gear for when he's in the jet mode is on the underside there, which you can see. Can you see it? That's just folded out as actual landing gear, but this is just, yeah, it definitely is. I just wanted to make sure it's definitely just like that. So this is the original, and it's so similar in sort of every way. Now the brain of courage is deliberately missed out of there, so I can show you in a second again just how they differ, how this one works compared to that one, etc. What I'll do very quickly though is I'll bring in fact, no, I'm going to keep doing the comparisons with the original one first and foremost. So as you can see, we've got the front of what will of course the Saber jet, which is this. So this is the version here, and again it's just smaller. The jet, perhaps they could have done the blade like this, chromed, because it looks beautiful. I mean, they've got the chrome thing there. Perhaps they could have done. You can attach the blade in there. Now you can also push this up and it will fire that out as well if you really wanted to. So I'm just going to slide this down into position, and as you can see, we can pop this in the hand. The shield is just pretty much a smaller but carbon copy of the masterpiece one, which I'll show you in a second. And then we've got this attachment which we can fit there, and you can spin this around depending on how you, I think it's like that for in the jet, and again it's differently for in base mode. I'm going to show you all that in a second as well. This can obviously then just go in that hand. I don't think there's much more to say about articulation or I suppose comparisons at the moment with this one. I want to try and do the same with the masterpiece. Now again, you're obviously talking, actually you're probably talking similar price points now, but obviously you're just getting the masterpiece. Now as you can see, the masterpiece one is huge as well. So what I need to do, if I can, is pull this back, and yeah, there we go. But again, the same thing under here. I'm pretty sure you've got, yeah, you've got the landing gear under there as well. So unfortunately, yes, I can 100% confirm that there is no landing gear on this for when he's in the Saber jet. This is the shield that wasn't in the original figure, but again is in the masterpiece, and as I've said, it's just pretty much a carbon copy but smaller. So with regards to articulation compared to the masterpiece, it's pretty much the same, to be honest. It really is absolutely cock on with regards to everything. You've got the same twists in the elbows, the bends there. Even I think the transformation process and how everything sort of hides and gets tucked away is very similar between all three. Funnily enough, the gun that you can't see that I've not put in his hand just yet, with the original and with the masterpiece, you could store it on the back, and indeed you can do with this as well. You can spin this around and you've got all these ports on the back and you can store it there, and I'll be showing you that in a second as well. So with regards to the masterpiece, I suppose it's scaled down. It's got the same articulation as the masterpiece, and it's pretty much got the same accessories. So it's like a scaled down it's like I said, the best way I can describe it is like an amalgamation between the two. Transformation process on this, which most of you've probably seen the videos now, is very similar to the original in the fact that everything, but it's covered up a bit better. Can you see there these huge gaps on the side? And that's because with the original one, they did very similar to the first one. So these fold out to the side, heart in mouth with the original one, and they just fold up. See the gap there? And they just fold over themselves and slot into there, very similar to what the newer version does. So yeah, articulation wise, same as the Masterpiece. Transformation process, pretty much same as the original. Just, it's exactly that. It's a brilliant upgrade from the original, not to Masterpiece quality, with the fact that this has got some die cast in and it's metal and it just feels a little bit more robust. However, I think articulation and looks wise, this one has just narrowed it. Right, what we need to do then is do some more comparisons and see, just before we do that, just see how he looks in his different modes. I'm going to concentrate with this video just on Star Saber. So this is Galaxy Shuttle, so this is your leader class figure at the moment. Obviously, and I need to adjust the camera again. There we go. I've got an Orion Pax from Thrilling 30. If you haven't got any deluxe figures from the new toy line, there is of course DK Breaker, who's actually quite a big deluxe, to be honest. So you're definitely thinking this is a Commander class size figure. So let's get a Commander class size figure just so you can see and get the idea with that. So there is Shattered Glass. Jetfire is of course exactly the same. Oh no, sorry, this is, yeah, it's in between, isn't it? It's smaller than a Commander class. When he's combined, it's about Commander class size. Stand up for me, please, Jetfire. There we go. So that gives you an idea, I suppose, of how big he is. But obviously, this has got a few tricks up his sleeve, which I'm going to be showing you now. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take out just the Saber Jet, or Saber, as they've decided to call him in this new version, Autobot Saber. We're going to take him out. We're going to have a look at this guy in base mode and see how it looks like that. Okay then, we're back and we're in mode number 1. So this is base mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. Main reason to keep the main length of the video down, and 2 is not to spoil it for anybody who doesn't want it spoiling for themselves. Again, it's a new figure and I know that people really appreciate having a go at it for the first time. However, obviously if you do want to see it, these are separately uploaded. So this is the base mode, and to be honest, you can pretty much tell that we've just folded the legs up and folded the arms back. But what I wanted just to show you, because I haven't put it in the video, is just how you connect everything up on it. So we've got the gun, which I said I was going to get, and to be honest, I might as well show you the size difference between this and the original. So the original G1 is this big and the newer one is a bit smaller. So we can pop this on any of the 5mm ports, which there are abundance of them across here. You can see all of them. This even fits inside the screw holes as well. So if you want to really go to town and completely power it up, you definitely can. Right, so the other thing we've got is the Saber helmet, which comes off, and what we've got here on the back, we've got these 2 slots. This is going to rest on there like so, and then you can point the antenna as guns. And then finally, what we've got here is these 2 slots either side, and these are going to fit into the 2 cutouts either side of the shield. So I'm going to reach around and try and attach that. Hopefully you saw that one, and then this one's pretty much exactly the same. Let me just see if we can do this. It's a little finicky, but it's not too bad. It's far worse for me trying to reach around the camera trying to do it. Believe you me, it's not as difficult as perhaps I'm making it look. Right, there we go. It's rested into position. It did until I knocked it out. Right, so let me just one more quick go at this. Or what I might do is just balance it for the purpose of the video, because there's just quite a bit more I want to very quickly show you on here. So I'm not going to do a comparison with every single mode of the original one, because that will take like such a long time. Maybe in the future I will. Right, that's pretty much going to rest there. But what I definitely am going to do is show you the main differences between the Jet, or as known as Autobot Saber, now the new one, and the original. So again, as I've said, it's a smaller version, but it's just more articulate. So this is the original. You can see the legs are joined together. The homage to the original is brilliant, to be honest. In fact, let's just move this out of the way so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So the fact the shoulders are raised up there, the hands flip out from inside of the forearms. But this is the interesting thing and one of the main differences. This is the Brain of Courage. in the new figure. This is the original, so a huge difference. And in fact, the way that this one worked is that this is his head, and it folded up like so, which you can see. Nice little detail there though, but this folds all the way up. Oh, let's try and do this nice and careful. Oh, proper heart in mouth with all these little ones like so. And then of course you can see there's a little cutout there, and there's a tab on the back in red. This will fit neatly like so, and we can close that up, which is good. But I've got to be honest, I much prefer the actual original Brainmaster gimmick. This is really something clever. So watch this. Open this out. You've got like an elevator, a lift there. Slot the figure in and watch the face appear. There we go. That I just think that's brilliant. So there you go. It's the little body. It's the man. There's his legs stuck. So let's fold him in like so, and that's how he appeared. So there you go. Pretty much weapons the same. There's the original one, which is huge. You can use it as a sword, or indeed you can attach it to the side of the shoulder and have it as a shield, and take the sword out and give him the gun. Like we can do exactly the same with this. So we can take this, we can pop it on the side of the shoulder, and we can of course give him his gun. Where have I just put it? There it is. It's on the base mode, of course it is. And there we go. So again, you can see the engineering improvements between them. There's not much more for me to, in fact, if you want to see the sword, what we can do is we can take this off, we can attach the sword in there, and again this can go maybe a little bit smaller, yep, and into his hand. It just looks huge though. Oh, and I've fired that out, so you've got to lift this up a little bit. It's more awkward than it probably should be, so I would suggest that you just keep the gun rather than the giant sword. It will work just about, but again, it just looks huge. So that's, I suppose, the main comparisons between them. What we're going to do now, we're going to come back, we're going to have a look at him in the large V-Jet, which is just him combined back with his outer body as well. Okay, so one more quick thing, funnily enough, just before we go into the massive jet, we might as well have a look at the small individual jet. So the original one, which is this, again, you can see the size difference, just how much bigger it is. But again, what you can do with this is you can open up the cockpit like so. This one goes out to the side. You can take the Brain of Courage, if you lift the arms up as well, and then you can pop him inside like so, and he can indeed pilot. In fact, maybe I should have kept the arms down. Let's have a look. It's been a long time since I've transformed this guy. Yes, it is. It's better if I keep them down because they stay out of the way. And this will indeed sit down for me, please. Oh, so nervous with these. That's better. There we go. And that'll sit in there. And then of course you would take the front of the jet, and this would nice and simply just slot over like so. So that's the original. Now the difference between that and the new one is we can obviously open up the cockpit this way as well, but we also need to remove the head. So you need to fold this part down. Oh, it does come off. Obviously I wasn't expecting to do that. Fold the head over. I suppose if you've seen it do it, you can see, look how easily fixable that was. Then we can take the Brain of Courage again, fold this over. This guy, I'm pretty sure we need to lift his arms up. There is the teeny tiny little pilot. Let's sit him in. Is that right? And there you go. So that sits him in there. And then you can do the same as what you've just done with that one. We can slot this in, and that will clip into position. So there you go. There is your two smaller jets. Now we're going to come back and have a look at them combined to make the large Star Saber jet. Right then, so here he is in his combined, but at the moment very basic V-jet, because all I've done is of course have just folded the head down and attached the front nose cone, and it looks a little bit, I suppose, bland, shall we say, like that. But what we're going to do, we're going to of course armor him up or power him up, however you want to word it. So we'll take the huge massive gun, I think it's the V-Lock gun. This can go in there like so and just rest on the back. You've got a tab there, and you've got a cutout there on the shield. This will then fit on top of this. You can then take his gun, and then you can of course pop this in any of these holes on the side. There's so many of them. And then you're going to take the helmet and again put the antenna point them down so they look like guns, and then this will fit and clip right over there like so. So that is the V-Jet, or the combined form of just the Star Saber jet. I will be doing the complete Victory Saber jet in his own video as well, just to give you an idea, I say, of how big that is as well. With regards to the original one, it's only just a bit bigger than the small jet. The normal jet is quite a bit bigger, but this is just, again, it's a great mode. It looks good. It's a good job they put the shield in and all these accessories, to be fair, because I think it makes it look so much better. And you've got the lovely little touch of the fact that you can, of course, see the Brain of Courage sitting in there as a pilot. So what I've got to do now then is once more come back with him in robot mode, see him next to Victory Leo with a few more comparisons before finally at the end combining him to make Victory Saber. Right then, so just some quick final comparisons before we go to the final part, which is going to be him combined as Victory Saber. So we've got Star Saber built back up, and we've got Victory Leo, and as you can see, Victory Leo is that bit smaller. He is definitely more like your leader class figures. Again, I've done Victory Leo in his own video as well as Victory Saber, to be honest, just to separate them all up, because I could talk about these guys for hours. So he's back in this particular mode, and as I said, we've got the shield, which we could also attach to the back if we wanted to, but I'm going to pop this in his hand, and I'm going to put the gun. I'm going to show you where it could have gone on the back as well there, which it could have gone there, or you could even have put the sword if you wanted to. Let's be honest, look, if you get the sword, if you slot this down and if you attach this, you've got the handle there. You can put pretty much all of his accessories on the back, but you didn't really need to, as I say, with the G1. So this is all bonus because he didn't have the shield. So with regards to the G1 figure, you just had the sword and indeed the blaster, which is pretty much what I'm going to do very quickly just for some of the last comparisons. So the exact, I'm going to copy pretty much exactly there. So just to give you an idea, as oh no, that's not, that's the V-lock cannon, obviously, which we can have a look at in a second, but just some very quick comparisons with these. So there is Victory Leo, and there is your G1 Victory Leo, and we've already seen your G1 Star Saber, who's there at the side, but this guy won't even fit, and we'll see them in a bit more detail in a second. That is your G1 Victory Saber. So there's not much more to go through now, apart from coming back for the final time very briefly just to see these combined and do one more comparison. Okay, back for the final time with him combined into Victory Saber, which again, I'm sure you'll agree is a simply stunning figure. What we're going to do then is we're just going to put pretty much the rest of the accessories on him to power him up and make him look much better. So we've got this V cannon now, of course. We can pop this part, you need to sort of fold down. This is going to fit inside that joint there. Again, exactly the same as the Generation 1 original, and that will go in his hand as well. So you can see how that is fitting inside there, and then these little blast effects, you know, they really do add the finishing touch to the figure. To be fair, these I think are the best any blast effects have ever looked. I don't really display the figures with the blast effects, but I think that these do look just that, yeah, they just finish it off nicely. So I'm just going to pull that back there again where you can see I lost a bit of focus actually, so let's go back in and then do a few more comparisons then. So I'm just going to move the shield and everything out of the way. So one quickly last time, there is just Masterpiece Star Saber, who is still that little bit bigger than this. We've then got we've got normal G1 Star Saber, who again is still that little bit bigger than this, and then of course this guy isn't even going to fit on screen. But as I've said, it's nothing really to do with the size with this, it's the fact that these new figures are exactly this. They're the G1 versions, but with much better articulation, much better. They've just been updated and they do look so much better, even if they are that little bit smaller. Right, one last thing to do for this video is the same as the original Star Saber and Victory Saber. You don't actually have to have the Brain of Courage inside, you can have him out. And one other thing very quickly to do, because I haven't shown you that yet, is just I suppose how small these guys are as well. So there's a Titan Master as well, just for a mini comparison. So this has just been the review on Star Saber. There's Victory Leo, there's Victory Saber uploaded, and I'm going to do another Victory Saber where we get to see them combined in the jet mode as well, because otherwise I can talk about these guys all day. I've completely loved them. I think it's fantastic. I'm really pleased that the set has lived up to it. And again, I'll just do one more quick video with the fully combined in the jet mode, and of course we'll have a look at Holly and Fire as well. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think of him. Let me know if you've got one. I think this is pretty much shipped everywhere now, so I'm really pleased everybody's had the chance to get one. Thanks for watching. Take care.